let's go ahead and convert each of these degree measures to radians. I know it's degrees because it has a degree sign, and now I'm going to convert them to radians. Each one of these, I wrote down the awesome proportions. So now, I see that 45 degrees is my degree. So I'm going to do my substitution. Radian equals 2 pi equals 45 over 360. Now, I'm thinking what I'm thinking of a student might do. A student might just try to type into their calculator 45 into 360. That is possible. So I have 45 times 1 and 45 times what? 8. And you put in your calculator and you'll get 360 degrees. So my 45s will cancel. I have radians over 2 pi equals 1 over 8. Cos is 1 over 8 my answer?
No.
It's not. I have this 2 pi over here, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 pi. Remember, you can take 2 pi and make anything a fraction by putting it over 1. And now I'm going to cancel. Therefore, my radian measure is equal to, if you don't understand cross-canceling, you can do 1 over 2 times 4, and you have that 2 pi there. See it? So cross-canceling, let's just say I cover this up. You would do like there's a 2 here, and there's a 2 here, that goes in 4 times. Your answer is pi over 4. Let's just say you didn't understand that. Well, 8 is 2 times 4. And what you're doing in cross-canceling is you're just canceling the 2's there. Multiply cross in my numerator, I have pi, and my denominator is 4. Remember, if I wrote something like x over 4, we normally don't say 1/4 x. You could, but if you look at our unit circle, it's only going to be pi over 4. So that is equal to 45 degrees. Raise your hand if you got pi over 4. Awesome. Let's do the same thing for negative 270 degrees. Now some students are asking me, is it possible to have an angle that's negative? Yes, it is. So radian over 2 pi equals negative 270 over 360. I used 90 as my greatest common factor, so negative 3 times 90 over 4 times 90. And over here I have radian over 2 pi. 90s cancel. You get negative 3/4 on this side. And then the side you have radians times 2 pi. Now I do want to point out that you could do other math tricks, which I don't like. Because you have a proportions, you can also cross multiply. Raise your hand if you've seen cross multiplying before. You can do that and it works. Here I'm going to multiply both sides by 2 pi. And you'll notice that here our 2 pi's cancel. I'm left with my radian measure of negative 3 pi over 2. Raise your hand if you got that. Again, here 4 is 2 times 2. My set of 2's will cancel. You're left with 1 2 left there. And everything in the numerator is just 3 pi. And it's negative. And denominator is just 2. So that's equal to negative 270 degrees. Now I'm going to do the same process for the last one. It is a decimal, but I do want to show you there are other formulas out there if you type into Google. Let's just say you multiply by 2 pi first. You would get radians is equal to the degrees. And if I simplified here, I'll get 180. So here is another formula you could use. 5 years ago I used it. The reason why I don't use it is because it's 2 formulas you would have to memorize, and the awesome proportions is 1 formula, and I think it makes more sense. To get radians, you could take your degrees and just multiply by pi over 180. It works. And I just showed you how I derived it. So degrees is 249.8 degrees times pi over 180. Did you guys see what I did there? The degrees is in the numerator, and I know that because of the fraction degrees over 1. So it's the degrees times pi over 180. Now, if you had yours over 360, it's totally fine. Yours would have been something like 249.8 divided by 360 multiplied by 2 pi. Now, we're going to use our calculators. Take them out, have them out. Now, the first thing you want to do if you have a calculator checked out to you, have a TI-84 plus CE, on your screen it should say degrees. Now, if yours says radians or rad, you're going to change it under mode. And underneath mode, you're just going to go down and you're going to highlight degrees and press enter. Now it's in degree mode. You can go back to your home screen, second quit. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to type all of this in, 249.8 times pi. So I'm going to use an extra set of parentheses there. So I do have 2 there. 249.8 times my pi button. My pi button is actually underneath the clear. It's in blue, so I have to press second. And then this button is called the caret button. And the reason why I use 2 sets of parentheses there is to show that this is all of the numerator. And then I'm going to divide my answer by 180. And if I press enter, I get this answer. I want you to count with me. Ready, set, go. So I had 4 significant digits. Did you guys see that? We just counted, has 4. So I want 4 significant digits over here. I have 4.3, what? But if I put a 5, do I put a 9 there? Remember, I need 4. I have to round up, so that's going to be 3.60. Do you see that? I wanted 4 significant digits there. And then this is not in degrees, this is in radians. So my answer is 249.8 degrees is equal to 4.360 radians. So we just did 3 examples of transforming degrees into radians. You could have negative angles, and you can also have radians that are not fractions, but remember, there is no degree sign, so it isn't radian measure.